Hello everyone, thank you all for coming. My name is Julian Edwards, a DBA student at the California Intercontinental University. Today we'll be discussing my Employee Recognition Satisfaction Survey. Our agenda for today will be firstly to review the survey questions of said survey. We will then go into the purpose of the survey. We will discuss the clarity of the survey questions, ability for all participants to be able to answer each question, layout and visual impression of the survey, the content and relevance of the survey questions to the purpose of the survey, and lastly, we will look at the utility of the survey. As we said, a quick recap of the survey questions. Our first question was, how do you rate the importance of employee recognition? It's a multiple choice question where with one of 5 options, rating from extremely important, very important, somewhat important, not so important, and not at all important. Our second question, do you feel your efforts in the workplace are recognized by management? With the options being always, usually, sometimes, rarely, and never. Third question, how often does management generally recognize employees for their efforts? Again, one of 5 options ranging from always, often, sometimes, rarely, and fourth question, are you personally recognized by management for your efforts? With our options being always, usually, sometimes, rarely, and never. Our last survey question was, recognition from management is important for work efficiency, with respondents asked to rate the importance of the statement or their agreement to the statement from strongly agree, agree, neither agree nor disagree, disagree, or strongly disagree. Following our recap of the survey, we're now going to discuss the purpose of the survey. Now, let's say a named company has been experiencing a high turnover of employees. Through some informal feedback, it was then thought that one major contribution to this high turnover was a lack of employee recognition. With this information then, our employee recognition satisfaction survey was therefore created, and this was to assess the contribution of this factor to the named company's problem of a high employee turnover. As far as the clarity of the survey questions, questions were quite clear, with the language of the questionnaire approximating the level of understanding of the respondents, which would be for employees in the workplace. Words used were very clear, with no usage of cultural terms and idioms in the event that it was a multicultural or multilinguistic work environment. Moving on to our ability for all the participants to be able to answer each question. We made sure that our questions were very relevant, and as such, respondents would be motivated to answer. Our questions would have been clear and concise, with the avoidance of any ambiguity that could possibly lead to incorrect responses. Made sure that our questions were properly sequenced for it to follow a certain pattern to increase or to entice the respondents' interest, and as well as making sure that our survey was anonymous in the event that some patients might fear repercussions and opt not to respond to the survey. Looking at the layout and visual impression of our survey, we ensured that a lot of close-ended questions, or all our questions actually, were close-ended, in that there were 5 responses in which one answer was chosen, essentially a multiple choice question on a 5-point scale. Questions were very easy and quick to answer. Multiple choice, like we said, with one appropriate answer on a 5-point scale, also ensuring that our survey was easily accessible electronically, that whether it be on a laptop, on a desktop computer, or a mobile device. looking at our content and relevance of the survey questions to the purpose of the survey, our survey would have aimed to answer a specific research question. These questions would have been specific to our research question, which would be addressing the level of recognition of employees by management. And this survey then addresses the employees' perception of the importance of this as well. Lastly, looking at the utility of the survey, our survey will be used to conduct statistical tests to determine if a lack of recognition does in fact exist in the workplace, and also to determine how important this is and the need for improvement or the need for implementation of these recognition strategies to reduce our employee turnover. Thank you so much for coming. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask. Also, you can have a look at the survey posted using the link above.